How did the Soviet bloc react to the Marshall Plan? Imagine a world where two superpowers are watching each other's every move, each trying to shape the future of Europe. That's exactly what happened after the United States introduced the Marshall Plan. The Soviet Union saw this aid program as more than just economic help. They viewed it as a threat to their control and influence over Eastern Europe. The Soviet leaders immediately rejected the offer of aid from the United States. They didn't want their satellite countries to become dependent on Western money or to adopt capitalist ideas. Instead, they forbade Eastern European countries under their influence from accepting any of the Marshall Plan funds. They believed that accepting the aid would weaken their grip and make these countries more vulnerable to Western influence. In response, the Soviets created their own system called the Molotov Plan, named after Soviet Foreign Minister Vyacheslav Molotov. This plan was designed to provide economic assistance to countries aligned with the Soviet Union. It was meant to keep these countries within the Soviet sphere and prevent them from drifting toward Western influence. The Molotov Plan eventually grew into the Council for Mutual Economic Assistance, or Comecon. This was an economic alliance of socialist countries that coordinated trade and development among member states. Comecon was a way for the Soviet Union to promote economic cooperation within its bloc and reduce reliance on Western markets. The Soviet Union also saw the Marshall Plan as a political move aimed at weakening their influence. They feared it was part of a larger strategy to create a buffer zone of capitalist countries hostile to the Soviet Union. This idea of a cordon sanitaire reminded them of the interwar period when Western countries tried to contain Soviet influence. These fears increased tensions and fueled the start of the Cold War. While the Soviets provided some economic aid to their satellite states, they also demanded reparations from countries that had been part of the Axis powers. This dual approach was meant to rebuild their economy and keep control over Eastern Europe. In the end, the Soviet Union's reaction to the Marshall Plan was driven by their desire to protect their political and economic interests. They saw the aid as a threat and responded with their own economic systems and strict control. This division helped shape Europe's landscape during the early Cold War years, creating a clear split between the Western and Eastern blocs.